Ay, waki! Submit mo!
Good morning, everyone. This is our first activity for CE14, and we will be doing experiment 4, which is the compression test of CHB or concrete hollow blocks for 4 inches and 6 inches hollow blocks. So for the introduction, compressive strength measures the maximum compressive strength a material can withstand before fracturing under a gradually applied load. The compressive strength test is used to evaluate the strength and suitability of concrete hollow blocks, and the result of this test will help ensure the quality and viability of building materials and verify their compliance with the industry standards. This assessment is in line with the set standards by DPWH and international organizations like ASTM.
For our objective, it is to assess the compressive strength of the concrete hollow block, and it is to evaluate whether the concrete hollow block meets the required standard specifications.
For the materials and equipment, we use gloves, a vernier caliper, and a measuring tape. And you also have the concrete, 4 inches concrete and a 6 inches concrete.
For the equipment we'll be using the weighing scale, and the compression testing machine.
For the first step, we need to measure its width and length using a tape measure. So first, we're going to measure its length, and then we're going to measure its width. And Mr. Stanley is going to explain how to measure the thickness using a vernier caliper. So Mr. Stanley.
Next, we're gonna use the vernier caliper to measure the face shell and the web thickness.
We will now weigh each hollow block and we'll see their weight. For the 6-inch hollow blocks, it weighs around 8.52 kilograms.
We will now do the compression testing on the 4 inches hollow.
Now we will begin the compression test for the 6-inch hollow block.
Results and discussions. The 4 inches CHB shell thickness of 13.2 mm falls short of the ASTM C90-23 standard requirement of 19 mm. Nevertheless, its web thickness of 20.55 mm satisfies the ASTM C90-23 standard, which called for a minimum web thickness of 19 mm. The 13-inch CHB satisfies the ASTM C129-23 standard, which called for a minimum shell and web thickness of 13 mm. The web thickness of the 6 inches CHB is 36.8 mm, which meets the ASTM C90-23 requirement of a minimum thickness of 19 mm. But its shell's thickness of 26.15 mm is more than the ASTM C90-23 requirement of 25 mm. According to ASTM C129-23, both the web and shell thickness of the 6 inches CHB meet the minimum requirement of 13 cm. Table 2 indicates that the 6-inch CHB obtained a compressive strength of 1.31 megapascal, which is higher than the 0.86 megapascal compressive strength that was obtained by the 4-inch CHB. But still, neither the 4-inch CHB nor the 6-inch CHB meet the compressive strength standard of 12.4 megapascal and 3.45 megapascal, and the percentage error of the comprehensive strength of 4-inch CHB is 18.60%, and for the 6-inch CHB is 29.7%.
With regards to compressive strength, the 6-inch CHB performed better than the 4-inch CHB with a value of 1.21 megapascals and 0.86 megapascals respectively. However, neither of the CHBs attained the minimum compressive strengths as required in ASTM C90-23 and ASTM C129-23, which pointed towards serious gaps in their load carrying capacity. The percentage errors of experimental values were 18.60% and 29.7% for 4-inch CHB and 6-inch CHB respectively, signifying moderate departure from theoretical values. In summary, though the CHBs were partially compliant with dimensional requirements, their compressive strength tests reveal that they are not fit for load-bearing use in construction projects. The results highlight the importance of enhanced manufacturing processes and quality control to conform to industry requirements and guarantee safe use in construction works.
Report. Laboratory tests were performed on the 4-inch and 6-inch concrete hollow blocks to determine their compressive strength and dimensional conformance to ASTM C9023 and ASTM C12923 standards. These tests were used to check the structural adequacy of the blocks to conform to standard specifications. The results showed that the web thickness of the 4-inch CHB conformed to the ASTM C9023 requirement, but the shell thickness was inadequate. But the 4-inch CHB satisfied all the dimensional specifications by ASTM C12923. Likewise, the 6-inch CHB satisfied the web and shell thickness specifications of ASTM C9023, and both thickness satisfied ASTM C12923. These findings indicate that the CHBs are dimensionally sufficient under ASTM C12923, which is for non-load-bearing units, but could be limited in load-bearing use under ASTM C9023.